Hey, what's up guys? Universal Mastery. So, in today's topic, what I'm going to be going into is a completely different realm, a completely different reality than what we're just experiencing here now watching this video. And it has everything to do with what does your dreams symbolize? What do your dreams mean? So the first thing that I want to say is that dreams are very significant. They are so symbolic. They have a lot of meaning behind them. Very deep meanings. Okay? But yet at the same time, there are some dreams that we have that are very connected in the sense of a lot of us might have dreams about a certain thing that represents a certain thing that's going to take place. For example, if you have a dream about a snake, now it could be very symbolic. You could maybe see the snake in a certain color, or the snake could look like a certain type of snake, and it could, have different attributes to it. That might be all personalized to you and to what you need to figure out. But let's say for the generalization of what the dream of the snake usually typically means is that you're about to go through some form of transformation. Or maybe you're already in the transformation. Or maybe, it's either like one of those two. Like you're either about to go through a form of a transformation, or you're in the transformation itself. So the reason why the snake symbolizes that, and when it comes to dreams, I'm usually not the biggest dreamer in the sense of I don't have the most vivid, oh my god, this happened to me in my dream, so now I know I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do this and this symbolized this in my dream and yada 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 yada. I don't really have the most vivid dreams. I'm not that much of a dreamer because I go through a lot of my experiences, a lot of my growth experiences, a lot of my deeper level understandings in my day-to-day life. So I astral project, okay? So meaning that I place myself in a mental place where sometimes I end up in another plane itself. Completely, just in my waking life, in my waking day, just because I know how to do that. Have I worked to be able to develop that skill? Absolutely. Was it also naturally more inclined that I'm able to do that? Yes, at the same time. It was in my genetics. I have this ability because of my ancestors, because of what I've done in past lives, all these other things. But that's typically what I do. I typically have these really out-of-body experiences in my day-to-day life. Right now, I can go to a whole nother place. If I literally put my mind to it and I focus on getting into another state of consciousness, I can do that. So when it comes to my dreams, does that mean I don't have dreams? Absolutely not. I have dreams, but a lot of my most growth crazy experiences usually happen in my day-to-day life, just in my mind. But some people are on a whole nother spectrum. They're on a whole nother paradigm where they have some of their most eye-opening, enlightening experiences in their dream state. And have I had experiences that were some of my most phenomenal, most eye-opening experiences in a dream that I've had? Yes, and I'm going to tell you guys about that in this video. It was crazy. But for example, when you go into that state of sleep, so you shut off your conscious mind and now you're in another realm, you're in another conscious state, that is literally a dream state. Okay, that's like that's another realm that you go to, and a lot of the times your spirit guides and your higher self are going to guide you to where you need to be. There's certain realms, there's certain planes that you need to travel to in order to understand certain symbolic things that may be going on in your life, or things that you need to come to terms with or need to figure out, or maybe even just give you some plain clarity on. Okay, so for example, like let's say that you are in a toxic relationship and you know that you need to end it. You know it, but you have this emotional attachment to it. So emotionally attached that you know it's so bad for you, you know it's toxic, but you just can't work it up enough to be able to just end it. You can't. And you're almost in a state of mind that's like, I need a fucking clear sign to know that I need to end this. Like, I need a God to come down and fucking strike lightning in front of me to wake me up and say, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Well, you may have a dream, right? You may end up going to sleep and you may have a dream. And this is all an analogy I'm creating. You know, this can happen on many forms, many different levels, but you get the point that I'm saying. So you may have a dream, and in that dream, you may come across, you may be with your significant other. And what I mean by that is the person that's very toxic. And there might be something very crazy that happens in that dream. Like so crazy that like you end up like almost losing your life because you continue to be in that relationship. And then you see your significant other going around talking to other people, or maybe all these crazy things that just incline you to not want to be with that person anymore, because it's really toxic for you and it's not for your best good. It's not for your highest growth. If you want to be the best that you can be, you need to cut it. You need to get out of that. But you may not know that in the physical, you may not know that in this reality, so you may have to experience it in a dream. And maybe that dream is so vivid, so clear, and so emotionally traumatizing that you wake up that morning and you say, that's it. That's fucking it. I'm done with this shit. Like, I know that's the sign that I needed, and I'm going to follow it. And I'm not going to get back with that person. Like, I'm going to cut the ties fucking here right now. And that's it. That's it. Like, that's the power of a dream. Like, it can shift your entire reality. Now, let's say you do cut those ties and you're no longer with that person anymore, and you're now experiencing life from a different standpoint, a life from a completely different paradigm, a new view. Let's say you're about a month out of now cutting that relationship, and you're experiencing life from a whole nother a whole different life from a whole nother pair of eyes. It seems like you're a completely different person. You're now more open. You're more of a vessel for these new opportunities, right? So let's say you go to sleep after that first month, and then you have a dream, and in that dream you see a snake, and that snake is slithering around, and it's very sinister. But there's something very mystical and fantasizing about it. And you see the snake go into this forest. And you're walking on this trail, and this forest is right next to you, and the snake just goes across the trail and goes right into the forest. And in this forest, there's a little pathway. There's this little dirt road right behind the brush. And you see the snake go right in there. And the snake was so mystical, so free-flowing when it squirmed across the ground. So fascinating, extraordinary, that you want to follow it. You want to see what's behind that shrub and see where that path leads. And you almost feel like that snake was trying to guide you somewhere, right? And let's say you go and you follow that snake and you go to that path and you start walking down that path, and you realize that the forest is dark and it's kind of scary. The forest is dark and it's gloomy, and you don't really know what's going on, and you have no idea what you got yourself into. And as you're in that state of fear and panic is starting to come out, you see the snake right down the path, just about 20 feet ahead of you. And the snake's turned around and is looking right at you. And then it sticks its tongue at you, and you almost hear it whisper to you, saying, "Come a little bit closer. So then you walk 20 feet more, and now you're standing right in front of the snake, about 5 feet away. And next thing you know, the snake sheds its skin. And then you wake up. Let's say, just creating that whole example, right? You wake up and you're like, what the fuck was that dream? Like, why did I just dream about that shit? Why did I dream about a fucking snake? Why did I dream that I was walking down this dark path? It makes no sense to me. I just got out of this relationship. I'm feeling great. Now I have this really weird dream and I don't know what it means. Well, what that means, if you had a dream like that or very similar or anything in the nature of that, you would know if you know. It means that you're going through a change or you're about to experience a change. The snake shed its skin. You are going to shed parts of yourself. Parts of your ego are going to die off, and you are going to regain and build new parts to your character, to certain aspects of who you are as a person. And you are going to be a completely different person, but in that process, you're going to have to walk in the dark forest. You're going to have to go in dark tunnels. You're going to have to go in dark crevices, places that scare you. But those same places that scare you are going to be the exact places where you gain a new armor. And that new armor from the old skin that you shed, this new armor has a certain light to it that provides enough light so that you can see in the dark. And then when you see in that forest, in that dark forest that you were once afraid of, and then you really get to see it with this light, you really see how beautiful it actually is. But you would have never known that if you didn't go in there and you didn't embrace those negative fear emotions, panic, chaos, whatever it may be. So that's how a dream can be very symbolic. And that's what that would mean. If you see snakes in your dream, once again, it means that you're going through some form of transmutation, some form of change. It is a good sign. Me in my personal life, excuse me 1 second. Me in my personal life, I've seen snakes, like physically. Like, I'll be walking down a path. I swear to God, I'll be walking down a path and a fucking snake will just slither out. And it's always a black snake. And that's very symbolic. And once you start getting into certain levels of trying to understand your dreams, starting to figure out occult knowledge, starting to climb the ranks, if you will, different different barriers of consciousness, once you start to move up them, you start to figure out that there's deities, and there's gods, and there's goddesses, and there's symbols, and there's spirits that have attributes to a lot of these symbols. So for me, when I see a snake, I think of either Lilith or Hecate. And honestly, does it have a big influence on those two? Absolutely. But does it also have an influence from other spirits that are guiding me? My higher self and, my other guiding spirits? Yes, it does at the same time. But those two specific deities, for me, because I've studied them, I know that they symbolize through the snake. I know. And whenever that snake is portrayed, in my mind's eye, I think of a black snake. So I think it's funny that when I'm in real life and I come across an actual black snake, the one that I see in my mind's eye, it comes across and it literally slithers across, I know that I'm going through some stage of transformation, or I am about to experience a stage of transformation. And I know that, on one end, that's going to be something that, is probably going to present some form of challenge because of that state of transformation that I'm going to go through. Because, once again, with transformation, you're going to have to go through a challenge and a trial, an initiation, in order to obtain the knowledge that you wish to have, and with that knowledge then transmute to power. But I do know the rewards that come from it, so I get excited and I look at it and I'm like, thank you, sweet, that's fucking awesome, the snake's here, I'm about to experience it, let's see what happens, let's be aware, let's get focused, let's get ready for this initiation process. And then, you find yourself in certain circumstances, certain situations where you literally are going through some form of an initiation, and you're being challenged in ways that you've never been challenged before. And then you start to look at your life. This is one of the keys, and I'm actually going to make a video on this. When you start to look at your life as a story and you're the hero to the journey, that's how you know when you're on the right path, because you are literally the hero to your own story. But if you're not in the right mindset, if you haven't tapped into that part of who you are, then you're not going to live a life of that much meaning. Because the truth of it is we live exactly what we think. And if we don't align what we're thinking with the truth of what we are and what we are capable of and what we've come here to do, then you won't realize that you are an actual hero. You are literally more than just a human being. You're superhuman, and you have a very mystical, mythological type journey that you're on right now. But you have to tap into it in order to start following it. You have to walk the path to see the journey. If you're not walking the path and you're looking for the journey, you're not going to find it. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. That's kind of what I wanted to say. Dreams are very significant. They have a lot of symbology. Okay? And I want to give you guys an exercise that could definitely help you with your dreams, if that's something that you want to start working on, which is journaling down your dreams. Now, personally, I don't do this because, once again, I told you guys I have a lot of my dreams in my day-to-day waking life. But does that mean that should be an excuse for me not to not to journal my dreams? It doesn't. I need to start doing that more, but I just want to share this with you guys because I know there's some of you that really want to learn how to take your dreaming to the next level and unlock certain powers within yourself. So I do highly recommend you do that. I know there's someone that's listening to this that needs to hear this, that is going to do this, and it's going to make a massive shift for them. So do it. And I forgot, I need to tell you guys what happened in my dream. I had a crazy dream, okay? So I remember I did a ritual on the beach, and the specific ritual was to Azazel, okay? So if you guys aren't familiar, there's a demonic king. He's one of the 9 demonic gatekeepers, and his name is Azazel. And Azazel is known for transmuting certain energies into power, essentially. Like, he gives you a weapon, okay, like an astral weapon that then lets you that then you know how to use in order to ground certain types of energies. So a big influence of why I have this sword tattooed on the inside of my arm is in representation of that. He gave me abilities where I know how to ground certain energies, I know how to tap into certain energies, I know how to use my mind as a weapon, and I know how to maneuver through life in a more efficient and effective way. And I don't let certain roadblocks stop me because I use my astral weapon and I destroy my enemies, if you will, and I move through them and I learn from them, and it's a growth experience. So without further ado, I'm on the beach and I'm doing a ritual, and it's actually a fairly chilly night, which is unusual in Miami, right? So it's like a fairly chilly night. The moon is out. It's like full. I'm on the beach. It's dark. It's like nighttime, and it's windy as fuck. So there's no one else on the beach because most people are like, fuck, I don't want to be on the beach. It's too windy, all that stuff. So I'm out there. My motherfucking shirt's off. I got I'm not even gonna go into too much detail. It was a pretty crazy ritual, but I'm out there and I got my I'm doing the ritual off my phone because there's a certain guy, and I recommend you guys check out his channel. He's very fascinating. VK Jahanam. He has a WordPress where he talks a lot about certain deities, certain entities, demons, and some angels and stuff like that. The Cliffoth, a lot of fascinating things that I think you guys can get a lot of value out. You can actually see the link to his channel in my playlist. If you go to my playlist on YouTube, I have a bunch of his videos liked so that you guys can go to his channel and see kind of where you're guided to go. But I was doing a ritual on his WordPress to Azazel, and I'm reading it off my phone, but I'm getting involved into it. I'm going into it, I'm feeling the emotion. I'm taking it really seriously. And, I had my shirt off, and, I want to say it took somewhere around 30 minutes. It wasn't too long. But when I finished, I was like, wow, I I could feel like something. I could feel the fact that like, damn, like just the fact of me going out there and being outside with my shirt off when most people are too fucking cold and didn't want to be out there, and you know, me just having enough discipline to just go out there and do the ritual with the knowledge that I'm really calling out to a powerful being out there, and I'm here, and I'm not just calling out to it, but I'm calling out to it to obtain some form of knowledge, to obtain some form of learning. And the specific ritual was guided towards a lunar type ordeal, meaning in the dream world. Okay, it was structured around giving me some form of dream that would unlock something within myself. So, you know, I do the ritual, and then 2 days later, I go to sleep, and I shit you not, I had a dream where I literally became fully lucid. So I came to my full consciousness in this dream, and I remember the first thing that I experienced was I walked outside, and I was moving objects with my hands. Like literally, like for example, like if I want to move this trash can from here to over there, I could do that just from sheer willpower and mind force. And then the next thing that was significant is the fact that when I would speak to people, I wouldn't have to try too hard to explain and try and get them to understand what I'm saying, because a lot of things that I say open people's minds and it's hard for them to grasp. But I would say things, and it was like the intention that I had for them to understand, it would just automatically transmute. So as soon as I was saying something with the intent that I had, they would already understand and reciprocate that back to me. So those were the two really, really, really significant things that happened to me in that dream. And you know, once again, that was something that, you know, Azazel showed me. Okay, he revealed that knowledge to me, and it was in that dream state when he revealed that knowledge. And because I had that dream, my entire life and my whole path, my destiny in my journey is going to change because of that dream, because now that's planted a certain seed within myself that I know what power is out there. I know what we have in our genetic codes, and we just need to unlock that by really, you know, focusing on that inside dormant power that we have to be able to unveil that and fully unlock that. And those things are possible. The things that I dreamed about, they're really possible. There's a reason why Azazel showed that to me. And Azazel is one of the most powerful gatekeepers there is. I mean, they're all so powerful. There's 9 demonic gatekeepers, and they all hold certain keys. Like, listen to their name. They're demonic gatekeepers, meaning they stand in front of certain gates. And by approaching the gatekeepers in the right way, meaning that you come to them wanting to learn knowledge and being ready to learn it, like actually being ready to go through with what you need to go through to learn that knowledge and discipline yourself enough to obtain and solidify that knowledge, then they're going to give you the keys to unlock that gate, so you can walk through all of these different gates from these specific gatekeepers. And that's one thing that you revealed to me, and that's forever going to change my life. But that all happened to me in a fucking dream, and I can still remember it so clearly. If I had to talk back to you about exactly in detail what happened in my dream, I can literally do that. But I'm not going to do that right now, because I'm going to wrap this video up pretty soon here. But that was the significance of, you know, an amazing dream that I've had. And I've never been lucid in a dream since then, but I remember before having that dream, I've heard of people's stories about being lucid in a dream before, and I always thought that was fascinating, but I never thought that I was going to have such a crazy, lucid, real experience in my own dream. And, you know, obviously it happened, and that's so powerful, and anything's possible. I mean, literally anything's possible. It's just about, do you really want to do it? Can you really go out there and make it happen? Do you really want to have it happen? Do you have what it takes to learn about what you need to do in order for what you want to create, for what you want to understand, for what you want to go through? Are you even ready to receive that? Like, was I ready for that lucid dream? Yeah. I went out on a fucking beach and did a ritual with my shirt off, and, you know, I put all my emotion into it, and I walked away, and 2 days later I had this massive dream. And it makes sense because I did that. I spent time and I asked. I said, hey, this is the knowledge I want to learn. This is what I want to receive. And, because I was disciplined, because I did that, because I am a vessel for these spirits to come through and communicate through. I'm sure I'm not just speaking here. Like, these spirits are working through me, communicating to you guys too. I hope you know that. Like, I'm a vessel for these spirits to come through as well. And I'm also a vessel for my higher self, which is my own spirit. And because I've become such a vessel for all these powerful beings, like, I'm not a vessel for beings that aren't powerful. I'm only allowing myself to be open to these demonic gatekeepers and whatever other entities or deities or spirits that are powerful that need to share something with me, or maybe to you guys. That's what I'm a vessel for. Anything else can fuck off. Anything else can be fucking stuck wherever the fuck they are. I don't care about anything that's less than that. Like, I don't want anything that's gonna, like, make me fall off of my path. That shit can go to the fucking birds. Like, bye. So with that being said, all these beings that come around me and come into me, they're also a part of my higher self. Like, their energies are integrated with who I am as a person. That's why I'm such a good energetic vessel for them. And yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of knowledge that I want to share with you guys when it comes to, being a vessel for certain energies and the powers that you can really tap into when you start to uncover certain secrets and certain knowledge within yourself. So other than that, I hope that kind of got across the importance of dreams and how powerful they can really be. So make sure that you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, because I post videos pretty much every single day, and they're only getting better and better and better. And if you've been watching my videos, you can advocate for that. They are really getting better. I'm learning things daily. I'm learning things like massively. Like, I'm a channel, okay? Like, I'm channeling all this crazy information, this knowledge, and I'm trying to ground it as best as I can. And I'm studying other people at the same time that are being channels, and I'm studying all this crazy stuff. And I'm really picking the pieces that are real. I'm picking the pieces that are reality. Like, what's really manifesting? What am I channeling that someone else is channeling? What are these things that we're all coming to these similar conclusions and these similar ideas with, so that we can share this knowledge? You get what I'm saying? So that it can actually be something that's real. It's not just a fantasy. Like what are we picking up on that's ancient? That's before humanity. That's before maybe even Earth itself. What am I tapping into? And then, how much can I extract so that I can share that? Right? That's like the biggest point to it. Is like, how can I share this? And there's things that I tell you guys that I haven't channeled from other people, because sometimes I feel like I'm channeling some really, really powerful information that maybe, not even maybe, that I've only channeled. Like, that is just for me to know. And then, I'm not going to hold back, and I'm not going to not share it. I know there's someone else out there that probably resonates with what I'm saying, and those things can cause manifestations within itself. If you get what I'm saying. Like, if I share something that is only on my mind, something that I've only learned, I've only tapped into, but then there's someone else that's learned it, but they never spoke about it, then together, just with that mental connection, understanding that same topic, that brings a fruitation to that seed, and it starts to grow. And then other people start talking about it. Other people start watching the video. They're like, whoa, you know what? I resonate with that too, because it's already in us. It's already in us. Like, we're just uncovering things that we already are and know. That's the biggest mind blower. It's like everything we learn in life, everything we tap into, it's already us. It's already in there. We're just uncovering it. That blows my mind. But other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. So I love you guys. Feel free to drop in the comments too, and engage in any way that you want, because I know this stuff gets a little crazy. I'd love to engage with you. Feel free to add me on Instagram and send me a DM, and we can conversate there as well if you have any questions. But other than that, I love you guys, and peace.